Hello, and welcome to my channel, where I mostly share my love of fragrance and enjoying my collection. In this video, I'll be setting up my October perfume and body care tray. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let's get started. I'm using a monthly fragrance tray to make sure that I try out new items I've picked up, as well as to help me rotate through the perfumes and body care in my collection. I'll still use other scents if I'm really craving something, but I try to focus mostly on the scents on the tray. As we're in the midst of fall, I feel like reaching for dark, moody fruits and warm, cozy sweets, and I of course want to pull out some of my Halloween scents for spooky season. Before I get into my October fragrance tray, I wanted to share a quick update on my favorite scents for my September tray. For body care, I reached for Bath & Body Works Sugar Cherry Crisp the most, as I was craving cherry scents, and this one is a sweet gourmand cherry with a sugary quality. It's really delicious, and I actually like the graham cracker note. And from Victoria's Secret, I enjoyed using Berry Spill from the current fall collection. It has juicy strawberry and bright orange, and the fruit has a very sweet candied feel. It also has some woodiness and an overall kind of clean feeling. And for perfumes, I reached for Jo Malone's Scarlet Poppy, which is a powdery floral with an almondy quality and a creamy vanilla sweetness. It has a bit of a gourmand feel, but it's not overly sweet, and there is a bit of earthiness to it as well. And now I'll go ahead and get into the October tray, and I'll link the two-tiered acrylic shelf that I'm using in the description box. Starting with Bath & Body Works Body Care, first I have Into the Night, with notes of raspberry noir, amber crystals, velvety rose petals, creamy patchouli, and mocha musk. And this is a very perfumey scent with a lot of raspberry and rose. It's musky and earthy, and it has a warm, ambery sweetness. I don't wear this one much as I find it to be quite strong, but I think it's suitable for the season. Then I have Wicked Vanilla Woods, with notes of magical vanilla, glowing amberwood, and enchanted pink pepper. And this is a really heavy, woody vanilla scent, and it has some sweetness, but it's not sugary sweet. It has a deep, warm, ambery quality, as well as a kick of spiciness from the pink pepper, and it dries down to a spicy, ambery, woody vanilla. Next is Dark Kiss, which has notes of black raspberry, burgundy rose, bergamot incense, dark vanilla bean, and plum musk. And as the name would imply, this is a very dark, sultry scent. It has syrupy fruit that predominantly smells like raspberry, as well as a subtle rose. The vanilla is fresh and adds a lot of sweetness, and I feel like this has a slightly powdery quality as well. It's a great evening scent, and I really need to use up the body cream soon. Then I have Everlasting Magic, which has notes of bejeweled berries, phantom petals, and magic musk. And this is a sugary sweet berry scent, and the berries have a sugary quality to them as if they've been dusted with powdered sugar. The floral note is very soft, and the musk gives the scent a light, clean feeling, so it doesn't feel weighed down by all the sweetness. And I think that this is still available if you want to pick it up. And lastly, I have Enchanted Candy Potion, with notes of spellbinding sugar, bewitched berries, and whipped pixie dust. And this is a really strong berry scent mixed with sugary candy, and the candy has a bit of tartness. It really just smells like candied mixed berries with a bit of a powdery feeling, and it's my favorite of all the Bath & Body Works Halloween scents that I have, and I really wish that they had brought it back this year. And moving on to perfumes, first I have Starlight Shimmer from Michael Kors, and this has notes of rose petals, saffron, and amber. And this is a beautiful, fresh rose with spicy saffron and warm amber. It has a lot of vanillic sweetness as well as some woodiness. It's very much along the lines of Lancome's Oud Bouquet and those type of scents, and sadly, I do think that this one is discontinued. Next is Hypnotic Vanilla from Zara, which has main notes of apricot blossom, jasmine, bourbon vanilla, moss, and dulce de leche, as well as heliotrope and hawthorn. And I did just review this recently, and it's a powdery, creamy vanilla floral drizzled with sweet caramel and touches of almond. It has powdery florals and a warm, slightly syrupy vanilla. I feel like the heliotrope adds that slight almondy quality, and there's also a rich caramel sweetness. Then I have Prada Candy Night, with top notes of neroli, iris, and bitter orange, a mid-note of vanilla, and base notes of cocoa and patchouli. And this is a very earthy, powdery chocolate scent with a bit of citrus. It's not overly sweet, and it has a vanilla quality as well. I find the patchouli to be quite strong, and the scent does have a bit of sharpness to it. Next is Orchid Leather from Cleef and Arpels, which has top notes of cardamom and plum essence, mid notes of black leather and incense, and base notes of cistus, which is a flowering plant, and vanilla absolute. And this is a dark, incense-heavy scent that has a boozy quality, sort of like plum liqueur. The vanilla gives it a nice sweetness, and it also has a subtle floral. Despite the name, I don't get a ton of leather. It's more warm and spicy, with just a bit of a medicinal, leathery quality. And this is probably the most unisex scent on my tray this month. And last for this shelf is Coco Noir from Chanel. And this has a lot of notes, including bergamot, rose, geranium, tonka bean, and patchouli. And I mostly like scents in Chanel's Chance line, but this one intrigued me enough to pick it up. It's very floral and rosy, with a bit of citrusy brightness and earthiness from the patchouli. It's both spicy and sweet, and it has a vanillic quality as well as some woodiness. So that's it for the bottom shelf, and now I'll go ahead and move on to the upper shelf. And up on this top shelf, I'm going to start with my Victoria's Secret body care. And first up is Cherry Elixir, with notes of black cherry and liquid amber. And this is a delicious cherry scent with sweet, dark, syrupy cherries. It has a lot of sweet, warm amber, as well as a bit of a nutty, almondy feel. I really liked all of the scents in the Decadent Elixir collection that this came in, and they have a very perfumey quality. Next is Night Glowing Vanilla, which has notes of vanilla bean, iris petal, and pink pepper. And this is a soft, warm vanilla with some spiciness from that pink pepper. The spiciness does fade though, and it becomes more of a mix of powdery iris and sweet vanilla. And while the vanilla is sweet, it's more fresh rather than sugary sweet. And I really like the overall powderiness of the scent. Then I have Violet Lily, and the notes just say Violet and Wraps Lily, Layered Amber. And this is a sweet, warm, ambery floral that I haven't really had a chance to wear much yet. The violet is soft and powdery, and the amber is lightly resinous. I feel like there may be another sweet note in here as well, but overall, it has a dark, powdery quality. Next is Very Sexy Night from the VS Perfume line, and this has notes of black plum, velvet woods, and luscious apple. And it's a very dark and fruity scent. It has a combination of crisp, fresh apple and syrupy plum, as well as a warm woodiness. It's definitely more of an evening scent for me, and I haven't worn it much since I got it, so I wanted to pull it out. And lastly for VS, I have Tease Candy Noir, with notes of raspberry glaze, night blooming iris, and warm tonka. And this is a syrupy raspberry scent that has a bit of tartness to it, as well as soft powdery iris. The tonka adds warmth, and overall it's very fresh and fruity and sweet. Despite the name, this isn't a super sweet or candy-like scent. To me, it's more of a warm, powdery floral with syrupy raspberry. And moving back to perfumes, first I have Kissing by Kilian, which has keynotes of Lily of the Valley, hot milk, and sugar, as well as rose and vanilla. And this is a fresh, green floral with a bit of a spicy quality at first. As it dries, it has more of a vanillic lactonic sweetness, and it's creamy and sugary, but retains the floral undertone. I think it's a unique scent in my collection, and I think it could be nice for cozy fall weather. Next is Velvet by Commodity, with a top note of clove bud, mid notes of roasted almonds and rose petals, and base notes of vanilla, amber, and musk. And this is a favorite of mine that I love pulling out in fall and winter. My bottle is from the original company, and it also mentioned notes of heliotrope and woods, but the new company says that the scent is the same. It's a warm rose scent with a bit of smokiness, and it might come across a bit masculine at first, but it quickly becomes a powdery, woody floral with some spiciness from the clove and touches of almond. It dries down to a sweet vanilla rose, and it's my favorite scent in the Commodity line, even over Milk, which I also love. Then I have Azzaro Wanted Girl by Night, which has top notes of whipped cream and rum, a mid note of night blooming cereus, and a base note of patchouli. And this is a very fruity scent that doesn't smell like its notes to me. I think it's like sweet grape candy and syrupy plum. And as it dries, I do get some of the vanillic whipped cream and a hint of a boozy quality, but it's still overwhelmingly fruity to me. This is another unique scent that I haven't worn much, so I wanted to pull it out. Next is Flowerbomb Midnight from Viktor and Rolf, with notes of blackcurrant, night blooming jasmine, musk, and pomegranate. And this is a darker, fruitier version of Flowerbomb, with prominent blackcurrant that also has a bit of sweetness. The jasmine takes more of a back seat, and the scent is quite musky, with just a touch of vanilla. Then I have Velvet Santal from Kayali, which has keynotes of jasmine, tea leaves, white musk, cedarwood, benzoin, and sandalwood. And when the Kayali wedding collection launched a few months ago, I initially picked up a mini of this and a full size of Silk Santal, as I expected to like that one more. I was surprised to find that Velvet Santal was actually my favorite, and I had to grab a bottle before it was gone. It's sweet, creamy sandalwood and resinous vanillic benzoin. I also get a bit of a powdery, marzipan-like quality. This does feel feminine to me, and I've been looking forward to wearing it more, but I'm also trying to savor it because I don't think that this is available anymore. Next is my Burberry Black Elixir de Parfum, with top notes of jasmine and rose, mid notes of sugared almond and dark vanilla, and base notes of lemon and sandalwood. And this was a limited edition extrait version of my Burberry Black, and it only came in this small bottle. Both the jasmine and rose are noticeable, and on top of those, it smells like sugary almonds with a citrusy kick. It's warm and woody and sweet, and it dries down to a sort of candied floral. And finally, I have Pretty Rotten from Tokyomilk, which has notes of apple, rosewater, honey, and spun sugar. And I bought this ages ago when Tokyomilk was sold at Sephora, and I had lost it amongst my things during a move, but I finally found it again recently. This is a strong apple scent that's a bit tart and combined with a sort of dry rose. There is some sweetness, but it's more soapy to me than sugary. I think they were going for Snow White Eats a Poison Apple with this, and I thought there was no better time to try this again than Halloween. So that's it for my October fragrance tray. I'm looking forward to wearing a lot of these dark, fruity fragrances with raspberry and plum, along with powdery florals and sweet candy scents. So far, using these fragrance trays is really helping me use up more body care, as well as making it easier to quickly grab a scent for the day or for bedtime, without having to spend so much time deciding what to wear. Let me know your thoughts on my selections and what you plan to wear in October and for Halloween. Thank you for watching. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.